Depreciation on new builds versus established properties. I can't tell you how often I hear time and time again, people making their decision to go for a new property in a new estate over an established property in an established area because of the reason that they are going to get more depreciation. So essentially because of a tax cut they will get. I want to break it down to you right now. Really, I want to illustrate to yourself why I personally, and dare I say, the best investors in Australia and the world tend to have a very, very different view on this. Let's break it down. Think about it in your own backyard. What tends to have the better growth? What tends to drive growth year on year for a longer period of time? Is it the areas that are in established areas whereby you can't build any more houses around? Or is it in the outer fringe suburbs where people are building out these big new estates, big new properties that all look the same? Of course, it's in the established areas. Very simple, supply versus demand. We all know that. You are going to be in a long sustaining growth period for a longer period of time. If you're in an area that is established, you cannot build any more properties on, right? That's very, very simple. Where people get it mixed up is if you buy an established property, can you still claim depreciation? Can you still have tax benefits by buying established properties? Of course you can. I've got a property in WA, Rockingham, 2001-year-old build. Now you can depreciation, how it works, or you can go all the way back to 1985 and can claim depreciation on that. This is not gonna be a depreciation video for you, but I'll just quickly explain. Did a renovation in 2017, and every single year I'm claiming back $7,000 on my property, which is great. If I maybe bought that property brand new when it was built in 2021, 2022, sure, I might be able to claim back $10,000, $11,000, $12,000, absolutely. And that is $4,000, $5,000. However, what is more important than that? Now, we've had hundreds of clients that have also bought things off the plan or brand new properties because of this very reason. If a property is a brand new property and it's in a new estate and it has exceptional growth for maybe 1 or 2 years, but then after that, it doesn't have as well growth, or even at the time you buy it, it doesn't have great growth at all. Whether it has depreciation or no depreciation, it's all a bunch of baloney. My Rockingham property, which I bought 3 years ago, every single year has done more than 25% growth. That is a lot more important than whether I have $3,000 extra in depreciation or not. Depreciation and buying an asset for depreciation reasons or buying an asset for tax benefits, that is a benefit of property. That is not your main driver of property. And it's something every single investor needs to understand. Whether a property has depreciation, doesn't have depreciation, whether it's going to be positive or negative, that is not my main driver, not at this current moment. What is my main driver? Is the property going to grow by $100,000 to $120,000 every single year? Whether it's $3,000 here, $3,000 there, really it does not matter. And if you are focused solely on that, then you cannot expect to be a professional investor. And that's just how it is. The number one and the core question, is the property going to beat the Australian average? Is, established properties, talk about fresh start, is the property going to do 20% plus per annum, which is $100,000 on a 500K asset? If that's a yes, great. Can I get a bit of depreciation after it? Or, how positive or negative is it going to be? That comes after that, right? That's additional questions to be asking. The first question should not be, have I got tax breaks? Hope that makes sense. Focus on growth. Do not focus on depreciation as your first tack, because you will get stuck. You'll end up buying shit properties and you'll end up left behind. Hope that helps to your success.